Netherlands as a study destination, what can you expect? First and foremost, top-class education for a very affordable rate. You really can go wrong if you decide to study in the Netherlands, whether it's at Avans or any other university in the Netherlands. The quality is very good and the fees are everywhere the same for students with an EU nationality. We have a lot of English taught programs in both the bachelor and the master level. And a lot of your fellow students are from the Netherlands, but also from around the globe. If you mingle in daily life in the Netherlands, you will find out that a lot of the people in the Netherlands are fluent in Dutch, although it's not our first or native language. So don't worry about coming to the Netherlands if you don't speak a word of Dutch, because you will be perfectly fine in surviving in the Netherlands with English only. Furthermore, you will find out that we are innovative and creative, that we have a broad cultural diversity, not only in the universities, but in society as a whole. And yeah, we're liberal and open-minded, so very welcoming to international students. Without getting too technical, I do want to highlight the educational system in the Netherlands, because it's good to have an understanding of how it's organized. But we have three types of universities in the Netherlands. The first one is the University of Applied Sciences. That is also what we are at Avans, and it means that we offer bachelor programs where we help you prepare for the professional field. So it's very much hands-on learning by doing, and we work on the professional skills that you need to succeed in your field of professional field in your field of study. A research university, as the name already tells, focuses more on academic research. So the bachelor programs, they have a more theoretical approach, and you really focus on creating new knowledge or new scientific insights. A university college is similar to the American system that you might have heard of, where you can have a bachelor program with a focus on science, social science, and humanities. You can complete a bachelor degree in any of those three types of universities, and then afterwards you can decide to carry on with the master program if you like. If you want to carry on with a master program in the Netherlands, you will most likely end up at a research university, as the majority of the master programs are being taught in research universities in the Netherlands. However, more and more universities of applied sciences, they also offer master programs in different fields. Should you decide to carry on with a master's program in a research university, you will sometimes be required to do a pre-master year, like a preparatory year. And this preparation is focusing on brushing up on your academic research skills. In a University of Applied Sciences, we conduct professional research, so we not necessarily focus on academic or scientific research. So you'll need to get up to speed with those skills before you can successfully start with a master program. However, if you decide to do a master at a University of Applied Sciences, or if you decide to take your bachelor degree from the Netherlands to a university abroad for a master degree, in most cases you won't need a pre-master year. So an introduction to Avans. This is one of our campus buildings in the city of Breda, but we are spread over multiple cities in the south of the Netherlands, and I will come to talk about that in a bit more detail on the next slides. We are a big university. We have over 35,000 students at the moment, and we have a close-knit but relatively small international community of a little under 1,000 international students. The students embody up to 80 different student nationalities, and one of the reasons for this diversity is that we also welcome a lot of international exchange students every year. We have 250 international partner schools in 50 different countries, so it is a very diverse and interesting mix of students from different places around the world, and this also offers you the great opportunity to explore other cultures and other universities as a student at Avans when you do your own exchange program as part of your study program. We are divided in 21 schools, and in total we have 7 international degree programs. We have 13 locations spread over 4 different campus cities. Breda and 's-Hertogenbosch are the main and most important campus cities for international students, because these are the cities where we teach our international and English taught bachelor and master degree programs. If you're choosing a study program, you will be based in a campus city and will also be assigned to 1, maximum 2 buildings, so you don't have to commute between cities. And if you will have to commute between buildings within the same city, it's only going to be a very short walk in between. Then We're coming down to the rankings. You saw the seals popping up on the left-hand side in the previous slide already, but we know that students, especially students from abroad, they look into the world rankings or international rankings to find out what is a good university and to get an understanding of how they rank among one another. If you did this already, you might find out that you won't come across the universities of applied sciences in the world rankings, such as the QS ranking or the Times Higher ranking. And the reason for this is that one of the main factors deciding these rankings is academic research. And all the way in the beginning, I said we conduct professional research and not academic research. So this is one of the reasons why we cannot be ranked with the research universities in the same ranking. Therefore, we have our own domestic or national ranking of all the universities of applied sciences in the Netherlands. And we are very proud to have been named the best large university of applied sciences of the Netherlands for the past 10 years. Another reason why we are so extremely proud of this achievement is that the ranking assessment is informed largely by the feedback from our students, our alumni, so students that have graduated from our study programs, and even the employers that hire our graduates after they have completed their study at Avans. Next to that, of course, there's an official assessment of the ranking committee where they look at the course design, the facilities, and also the competence of the teaching and the support staff to make an honest comparison among all the universities of applied sciences in the Netherlands. Some more images of our campuses. As I said, based on the study program that you choose, you will be studying in a certain city and in a certain campus building. However, in all cities and in all buildings, you will have access to excellent facilities, whether it is for preparing your studies, working individually, working in groups, or socializing with your fellow students in between classes or before the exams. There is always room for you to study or to meet up with your friends. Here again, you see some more of the facilities. All the buildings also harbor restaurants and cafeterias, so you can get a quick bite to eat or a snack or a cup of coffee in between if you decide to study any of the science-related programs. You also have access to our research laboratories. So all in all the facilities are there to make your study a success. So why should you consider Avans? 3 important reasons: our international focus, our practice-based education, and our personal approach. What do we mean with an international focus? Of course, not only that you will study in an English style study program, but you will become part of an international community of students and lecturers from all around the world. They bring their international experience and even international working experience into the classroom. Most of the lecturers that you will meet at Avans, they either have ample experience in the professional field or they are still actively involved in the professional field relevant to your field of study. The projects that you carry out at a university are always related to internationally operating organizations. And of course, there's room for international study trips, and we do pay attention to intercultural awareness and communication skills. So you learn from the get-go how to interact with your fellow students and teachers from different parts around the world. So the practice-based education, what does that mean? It means that you do a lot of interaction and teamwork in your daily exercise at school. The way of teaching is very problem-based and it's learning by doing. Of course, you'll have to study from the books and learn theories, but you don't study them to learn them off by heart and make an exam, but you study them so you can see and you can learn how to apply it on real-life issues and real-life cases. There's 1 year of practical experience within every study program that is dedicated to your professional skills and professional experience outside the university. There's different kinds of projects and companies and organizations that you can pursue. You have a lot of freedom in the choices that you make, as long, of course, as it's relevant to your field of study. The personal approach, we are a big university, as you could see from the facts and figures slide. However, we are organized in academies, so you are part of a smaller, more tighter community, depending on the study that you choose. But also all students get assigned a personal mentor, and this personal mentor is there for you throughout your studies to help you with your academic performance and your progression, but also if you need any personal support, he or she is a familiar face that is there to help you if you need any guidance. Also, the contact with the lecturers is very informal. Most students and lecturers are on a first name basis. They're easily accessible. You can find them in the university, and they're more than willing to help you out if you have any questions related to your study program or on a more personal note. Then we're coming down to the 5 international bachelor degree programs that we will be highlighting here tonight. We have Environmental Science for Sustainable Energy and Technology. We have Industry Engineering and Management. We have our Finance and Control program. And we have 2 international business degrees, one in the city of 's-Hertogenbosch, one in the city of Breda. Don't mistake them to be the exact same program, just in a different city. They're very different in their approach and their way of teaching, so one program might suit you better than the other. So I would highly recommend to attend both sessions. They are spread over the 2 rounds, so this evening is a great opportunity to see and hear the different insights for both programs and make an honest comparison for yourself. Without giving away too much, but if you're still wavering between what session you want to join tonight, a quick look into Asset or Environmental Science. It is a program that has its origin in natural sciences, but you don't learn you don't carry it out in the traditional way, but you learn how to apply it on environmental issues. So this is really a program for students that are keen on preserving the planet for future generations. I know my lovely colleagues and students are present here tonight, so I'm sure they're going to tell you more about the insights of the program and their experiences. Then we're coming down to Industrial Engineering and Management. This is a unique program where industrial engineering gets combined with management. It has its origin, or the focus of the program is on maintenance management. So this is really an interesting program for students that have the affinity with technical and engineering processes, and at the same time also would like to learn how to optimize maintenance processes and management processes in the field of engineering. Also, very interesting program for you to check out in the upcoming rounds. Then we're coming down to Finance and Control. This is the program for students that love to work with data and financial information. Of course, you need to love to work with numbers, but it's not only about that. You learn how to translate complex financial information to an understandable message for different stakeholders in and outside the organization. So if you're really into financial information, this is your program. Then we're coming down to international business in the city of 's-Hertogenbosch. This is the business program for the entrepreneurial spirits among us. If you're really keen on learning all the aspects of doing business on an international scale and maintain the freedom to co-create your own curriculum, this is definitely a program that you should look into a bit more. Our international business program in Breda is our long-standing business program that we have in Breda. They have a very strong and very lively international community of students and staff from all around the world. You study subjects related to marketing, finance and management, and you have the unique opportunity to do a dual degree. So if you're in for an extra challenge, make sure to tune in with the international business program in Breda and they tell you all about it. Then some practical information if you are considering to apply at Avans, or maybe you already applied for one of our programs and you're trying to figure out what are your next steps or your most important steps to make sure that you get a smooth start at Avans. Practical matters regarding tuition fees. The fees for the next start of the academic year in September 2022, the fees are set for €2,209 for one academic year for students with an EU or EEA citizenship. In the first year, if you enroll at Avans for the first time, or in the Netherlands for the first time, I must say, you only pay 50%. So 50% in year 1, the second, the third, and the fourth year, you pay the full amount. The non-EU students, they pay a higher fee, 8,452 euros for 1 academic year. And the reason for this difference is that the university receives funding from the European Union. Unfortunately, this only applies to EU citizens, therefore we are not capable of applying the same discounts, and this makes up for the difference in the tuition fees. To give you a general impression of your living expenses on a monthly basis, you can see here what you will need for housing, for insurance, and groceries. Again, if you're an EU student, you can also apply for student finance from the Dutch government, and it's not the same as a scholarship. Unfortunately, it is a loan. You will have to pay it back, but it might give you the extra financial space that you need to make sure that you maintain yourself while living and studying in the Netherlands. Application deadlines, no later than 1st of June for non-EU students, because we also need to apply for your study visa, and this can be quite a lengthy procedure. For EU students, no later than 1st of August. We do recommend you not to wait until these deadlines. The earlier you apply, the better. It leaves more time for all the steps that you need to complete, or if there's some documents that are missing or incomplete, you have plenty of time to make sure to get everything in order before the start of the academic year. Bear in mind, these deadlines mean that you need to have submitted your application in StudyLink. So submitting final documents, doing an intake and stuff like that can all take place after the deadline. However, submitting your official application in StudyLink needs to be done before these dates. Okay, the application procedures in 6 steps. It's no rocket science, so don't worry. First and foremost, registration in StudyLink. Independent of where it is that you want to study in the Netherlands, you will always need to put in your application in StudyLink. There's a step-by-step instruction manual on our website, and this will guide you through this procedure. Once you have selected your preferred program at Avans, we will be notified of your application, and we will get in touch with you, sending you an email with login details to upload your required documents. And I'll tell you what those requirement documents are in a little bit. We do a preliminary check on the documents that you submit, and if we see that you meet the admission criteria for the program that you have applied for, we will invite you for our online intake assessments and interview. It's a mandatory part of the application procedure. However, the outcome of it is not binding to final admission. So this means that it doesn't serve as a entry test or an entry exam, but it's actually meant for you to make sure that you make a well-informed decision and that you have all the information there is about the program beforehand, so that we are sure that it's going to meet your expectations. After the intake, you will get an advice, negative, positive, or doubt. Worst case scenario, you get a negative advice. If you are still convinced that this is the right program for you, then you are allowed to carry on with your application. And the next step would be the practical preparation. So housing, insurance, everything that you need to settle in smoothly once you arrive in the Netherlands. So once you arrive in the Netherlands, we welcome you for our introduction days at the university, and we help you arrange the final practicalities that you need and that you can only take care of upon arrival. A few examples, for instance, are opening a Dutch bank account and registering at City Hall. You need to be physically present in the Netherlands in order to be able to finalize these steps. Then moving on, or not necessarily moving on, but zooming in on housing. If you're coming to the Netherlands as an international student for the first time, it can be very difficult to obtain housing. At the moment in the Netherlands, it's very challenging in all cities to obtain student accommodation. Therefore, Avans is offering furnished rooms to international students in the first year. However, there's always less rooms than new incoming students. So make sure to submit your application in time and indicate that you want to be eligible for accommodation via Avans. As I said, the rooms, there are less rooms than new incoming international students, and the rooms are more or less allocated on a first come, first served basis. You can get access to a booking platform where you see the available rooms. This is normally around July. If by any chance you are in the unfortunate position that you cannot obtain accommodation via the university, you will have to look for accommodation on your own. Again, there's a high scarcity at the moment for student accommodation, so I highly recommend you to start looking early and get all the help you need, maybe from acquaintances you already have in the Netherlands, by signing up for multiple housing corporations or housing websites to be really on top of this issue. The international office can assist you with this as well, but keep in mind that this is one of the decisive factors for you to be able to actually start with your studies in the Netherlands. Of course, there's more to life than only studying, so there's also a very vibrant student life, not only in Breda, but also very much in the city of 's-Hertogenbosch. Both cities have a similar vibe, I would say. They're both historic cities. They harbor multiple universities, so they're both cities where a lot of young people and students, both domestic and international students, live. So there's a lot of activities, parties, associations centering around students meeting up and sharing a joint interest. Okay, moving on to the study associations, student associations. Again, they're spread over multiple campus cities. It depends on your personal interest. Are you more into partying? Do you have a shared interest or a common interest for sports or debating clubs or international activities? There's an association available for everybody. Then we're coming down to the end of the session. If there's anything you want to contact us about either now or later, there's a few ways to do so, either via email, social media, but of course you can also get in touch with our student ambassadors. You will meet some of them here already tonight. They will share their experiences and probably also drop their emails, so you can ask some more questions later on or tonight. Make use of that opportunity. We have an international magazine available for you where we more or less summarize everything I touched upon in this session already. But if there's anything you have questions about or you cannot find on the website, don't hesitate and feel free to get in touch with us at any time. We're here to help. I see my colleague Shen is already putting in the links for the first round of the program. The sessions start in 5 minutes, so that's great. You can still have a quick toilet break, get another cup of tea or coffee or another drink, and then I would recommend you tune in for the upcoming sessions and ask any questions that you have. The second round will start later on. We will share those links again here, but you should have received an email with all the session links for which you have signed up. But in case of any technical issues, feel free to get in touch with us here. Okay, thanks everybody for listening. I hope you have a great evening, and we hope to meet you at Avans. Thanks everybody.